All right, let's talk about something that can literally make or break any project. Prioritizing your requirements. And I'm not just talking about making a simple to-do list. This is really about the art of making smart choices, so you can build the right thing at the right time.
Does this sound familiar? You've got this amazing project idea and a laundry list of incredible features you want to build, but you're staring down the barrel of the usual suspects. Not enough time, a limited budget, and only so many people on your team. Yeah, that's the classic problem, right? Every team on the planet deals with this.
And that leads us to this really core idea. Not all requirements are created equal. It's just a fact. Some are absolute game changers for your project, while others are, well, they're just kind of nice to haves. The real secret to success isn't just knowing the difference, it's having the guts to act on it.
And that is where our hero of the day comes in, requirements prioritization. Think of it as the strategic playbook for bringing order to all that project chaos. It's a process for figuring out which features are going to give you the most bang for your buck and helps you focus all that limited energy on what really moves the needle.
So what happens if you just skip this step? Well, it's not pretty. This is what we call the prioritization problem.
Just look at these two worlds. On the left, that's a project with no prioritization. It's total chaos. You're wasting time and money, you're blowing past deadlines, and your stakeholders are getting more and more frustrated. But then look over to the right. When you prioritize, everything changes. You have focused efforts, you're making real progress, and you have a clear roadmap. It's the difference between just being busy and actually getting things done.
Look, this is so much more than just checking boxes on a list. When you do this right, you unlock some huge tangible benefits for the whole project. Let's dig into what those really are.
First off, you manage your resources way smarter. Your time, your money, it all goes to what's actually critical. And naturally, that makes your stakeholders a lot happier because you're delivering on what they really care about first. It also lets you tackle the big scary risks early on, which dramatically lowers your chance of failure. And, in a world that's always changing, it makes your project way more agile and able to pivot when business goals shift.
Okay, so we get why this is so important, but how do you actually do it? Let's dive into 4 really powerful techniques that teams use to make these tough decisions.
First up, we have the Moscow method. This one is fantastic for getting everyone on the same page fast. You sort every single requirement into one of 4 buckets. Your must-haves, these are totally non-negotiable. Should-haves are important but not absolutely vital. Could-haves are those nice bonus features if you have extra time. And this last one is so important, won't-haves. This is where you all agree on what to push for later. It's absolutely key for staying focused.
Next, there's the Kano model. Now this one's awesome because it shifts your thinking from what can we build to what will absolutely delight our users. It looks at features through the lens of customer happiness. You have basic needs, which are just expected. Then performance needs, where the better you do, the happier people get. And then you have the excitement needs. These are the unexpected gems that turn users into huge fans.
Okay, for when you need a more objective, data-driven approach, you can use weighted scoring. You decide on your criteria, like business value and cost, and then you give them a weight. So here, value is 3 times more important than cost. Let's walk through the math for feature A. You take its value, which is 9, and multiply it by 3. That's 27. Then you subtract the cost, 4, and you get a final score of 23. See, even though feature B is way cheaper, its lower value means it ends up with a score of just 14. This makes the trade-offs crystal clear.
And finally, we have the 100-point method. I really like this one because it's so democratic and collaborative. You basically give each stakeholder a budget of 100 points, and they get to spend those points on the features they think are most important. When you're done, the way the points are spread out gives you this incredible visual snapshot of what the group truly values.
So, you have all these great techniques, but, they don't just run themselves. You need a champion, a facilitator, and that's where the business analyst comes in. They play an absolutely critical role in making sure this whole thing works.
The business analyst is basically your guide through this whole process. They're the ones leading the workshops and making sure everyone's voice gets heard. They go out and gather the data to make sure these aren't just gut feelings. They build all those charts and visuals we just talked about to make things clear. And this is huge. They make sure the priority list is a living thing, something you revisit as the project evolves. And finally, they communicate the results so everyone on the team understands not just what they're building, but why.
All right, theory is great, but let's see how this all comes together in the real world with an actual example.
So imagine a team building a new mobile banking app. The business analyst gathers a list of all the features they want. Using the Moscow method, the team initially decides that the budgeting tools are a could-have. But, and this is the magic of the process, they don't just set it and forget it. During a review, stakeholders bring in some new data showing that customers are screaming for budgeting features. So the team adapts. They revisit the list, and that feature gets bumped up to a should-have, right where it belongs.
And that final, agreed-upon list? It's not just some document that gets filed away in a folder somewhere. It becomes the team's roadmap. It's their North Star. It gives the developers total clarity on what they need to build next, making sure every ounce of effort goes toward delivering what truly matters.
So, I'll leave you with this one question to take back to your own work. That long list of must-haves for your project? Take a really hard look at it. Are they truly must-haves, or are they just things everyone sort of assumed were important? Going through a process like this might just change everything.